So, very, very good evening, everybody, and welcome along to a Friday Night Live with RB. Loads and loads of things that I want to cover tonight, and it's going to be a very, very short show tonight until obviously we get a few bloggers in the room. But loads and loads of things that I do want to cover on the stream. So, what we are going to do is obviously share out the StreamYard link to the channel. And that is going to go up in the side comments in just a second. So if you do want to jump in, obviously on the side chat, evening Rory, good to see you. And if you do want to obviously join in on the side chat down here, that's been posted onto the channel. Come and jump onto that StreamYard link, and we're going to get everybody up. Just obviously remember, if you are coming into the room, do make sure that you have your YouTube muted for the stream. So stream's up. Anybody wants to come and join us? Hey, welcome along, Alison and Hayden. So good to see you guys. If you want to come and jump on the chat, obviously I've just posted the StreamYard link. I have got loads and loads of questions tonight. People have been asking me about certain bikes, and obviously following on from last night, if anybody happened to catch up on the Diesel Boys shows, that's Jim Diesel and Diesel Hogs vlog. A couple of the lads are on the stream. Obviously Zed Head is out camping tonight, and we were joined by Carl Dutz as well from Carl Dutz. So if you haven't checked out Carl Dutz's channel, jump on there. I am jumping between multiple pages tonight, so we're going to try and get sort of as many people onto the stream as we can tonight and answer as many questions as we can. To bring up some of these banners. So I'm going to start with a couple of bikes that have obviously been, people have been saying, oh, is it, can you do this? Can you do that? Phone's going off as well. So obviously everybody wants to jump in. I'm going to put this one up to start with, the new BMW electric scooter. I've seen the first couple of photos of this, and I do like my electric bikes. Obviously, we do them down at the garage. We do the 50cc equivalents of these, and we are selling the Cyphers really, really well. But this new BMW electric scooter, and I'm just going to obviously share my screen up, and we're going to share up the screen and just show you what I've got here. So I'm just going to bring up one of my windows. If I can find it. So entire screen. We're just going to bring this up as well. So just click on that one, bring up the window. I am going to bring up, hopefully, if I can get into the right button on this one, we shall bring up this one. So, right, we're going to share this one up, and I'm going to just bring this up onto the screen. Hopefully, it's going to share the right link up for me. So, yeah, sharing the screen. CE into the future. Obviously, this has been shared out on the MCN page. BMW CE4 electric scooter is just a start, and obviously BMW have launched this scooter up. To say it looks like a battery with a couple of wheels on, and obviously that's BMW's attempt to obviously push their new scooter, but it looks very, very uncomfortable. So, not a big lover of that bike, and it's one of those. It's a bit like chalk and cheese. Evening, Burning Gas hauling us. So good to see you in the room, buddy. So that's one of the bikes, obviously, that we were chatting about earlier when someone said, oh, what do you think of the new BMW electric scooter? I was like, yeah, I'm not a lover of it at the moment. One that obviously Gareth might like is, I know it was a bit of an ugly one, but obviously Gareth happened to be a sort of the Harley man. Um, Someone has said to me, obviously, check this one out, and I've gone and had a look, and it's on the same page again. It's advertised on the MCN page. So let me just share this one up, and I'm going to take you up to this new bagger. And once again, it's BMW. So share this out. And obviously BMW have now launched a supersize R18 transcontinental bagger. Um, why not just buy a damn Harley? As I said, I've never been a lover of the BMW Boxer engines. It's just an ugly looking engine to me. Probably one of the best and most reliable engines because they use it on the R1250, but or the GS 1250. But to make a bagger out of a BMW is something that's just really not appealed to me on this one. So if you happen to have a look at that bagger, and then obviously have a crack of it. Let me just get that one back up, because obviously people are like, oh, you've missed it, you've missed it. So we're going to bring up this bagger. That's the bagger. And there's two different versions of it. So one's got like the armrest on the back of it. The other one's got there's just straight bagger with a straight passenger seat to the rear. But they they both really do not appeal to me. So that's not something that I'm a lover of again. So yeah, comments on that one, let me know. Evening, Sarah, and obviously Mrs. Burning Gas Hauling Ass is here. Um, Loads and loads of new stuff. The KTM have announced a new 990 that's just about to come into the market. BMW are really, really pushing their products at the moment, just trying to get something for their niche market. Um, but it's something that's just not appealed to me. And then obviously a couple of other questions. We were chatting about E10 fuel. Now we've covered this so many times. Not, I tend to run certain optimum fuels in my bikes, but and then obviously Diesel said to me, you need to add some, if you put in methanol in your bike, then obviously you need to add a little bit of fuel or something else to it. The big thing to do is obviously, if you are going for E10 fuel, make sure that you check out on the Gov website, and very, very easy. Jump on Google. Is E10 okay in this bike, or bikes recommended to use E10 fuel? We'd normally say if it's carbureted bike, steer away for the E10, go for something that is super unleaded. So as I said, the StreamYard link is up. I'm going to post it up one more time for you guys. So if you do want to jump in on the StreamYard link, there is the link that's just come up. And if you haven't seen, obviously, Jim Diesel is now Team Kawasaki. So the Aprilia has now gone. And if you happen to go up onto the YouTube, you can find Jim up there. And he's just put up Finally Friday. It's good to see a little bit of the ape on there, but he's obviously out on the new bike as well. So StreamYard links down the bottom. If you've got a web camera, if you've got streaming ability, come and jump in, have a little bit of a chat with us. We're not going to be on for very long tonight, because we've got a very, very long day tomorrow, and then obviously we're going to be jumping on and doing the Super Sausage Run on the Sunday. So we're out with Simon GTR, have a little bit of a fun day out with him, and I believe Alison and Hayden are going to come and join us at Super Sausage as well. So we're going to introduce this extra vlogger into the room, and we're going to bring in Nitro Rory. Here he is. So Rory, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, what you ride, and what you do for a day.
All right, hi. Thanks very much for adding me on. As you can maybe tell from my accent, I'm not far from one of your regulars. What's the name of your man that's off camping? I can't even remember his name.
Zhead.
That's the man. He's in my area. So I'm just outside Glasgow as well. And I don't play with the big boys. I just run about on 50cc bikes. I just ride these on Grandad's rights on my license, and I like the two-stroke 50s. So I kind of keep up with your channel. I like to see what Lexmoto and so on are doing with their smaller bikes, and that's the sort of thing I play about with. And I've got a few videos up on YouTube, but not been on for a good while now. I'm going to get back onto it. So the sort of things I have. I've got a Yamaha TZR50, like the old Aprilia RS50, same engine, and I've got a Reiju RS350 as well. And I just have fun with small bikes, really.
Brilliant, brilliant. As I say, everybody started on a 50cc. So I was ribbed for years and years, because obviously I started riding at 5. My dad got me on a little 50cc monkey bike, twist and go. Went up to a couple of bikes, but my first bike when I was 16, and no taking the mick in the room, I had a Pooch Maxi pedal along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so everybody owned a Pooch Maxi, and I had all my friends buzzing around on Fizzies, on the Yamaha FS1Es and the Honda SS50s, and I had this Pooch Maxi. But obviously I got my revenge at 17 when I passed my test first time and went straight to a 900cc while they were still on 250s. So 50cc's, two-stroke, I love the two strokes. I just love the smell of two-stroke
Mhm.
oil. And obviously the four-stroke 50s, it was just a shame that Lexmoto have discontinued the Aspire and the Hunter, because they were great bikes when they first came out. The Aspire did suffer with the frames, and everybody knew there was frame issues, but most of it was sorted by the recall. But the Hunter was such a good bike. Once you'd run it in, you used to get some great speeds out of it, and we had loads of fun with them.
Yeah, I had some fun. I had an Aspire for a wee while,
Mm,
which I put a 72cc cylinder on. Obviously, I never rode it on the road with that cylinder on my license, but I had some fun with that. I did get a bit scared about the stories of the frames cracking actually, and sold it on. But I actually had no problems with that bike at all. I had it from 300 miles to about 1500 miles, no problem.
mm. See, some people did have issues with the frames, but obviously
Mm,
Lexmoto was straight on it and said, right, there's an issue. Let's obviously get it sorted. But that's what Lexmoto warranty's for. And you tend to find that most of the people that knock the Lexmoto brand have either had one and ragged it to death before they've run it in, or they've
mm.
just got absolutely, which I said in the feed last night, no basic maintenance. And most people, you can watch so many YouTube videos how to adjust a chain, how to service your own bike. And we had one on the Lexmoto forum today. Is someone actually said, could do I have an air filter in my bike? Yeah, all bikes normally have an air filter. And he actually said, all right, I can't afford a filter, but would a kitchen sponge do the same job, or
Oh
a bath
my God.
sponge do the same job? And the amount of stick that he got, and obviously he was told this by someone that reckoned he was a mechanic. And
Mhm.
obviously all the mechanics that were on the forum jumped in on the page and said, no, if this guy reckon, oh yeah, but it's my mate, and he just knows how to fix bikes. Well, he's not a mechanic then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it was actually fine. I would say don't buy a Lex Moto if you're not going to be prepared to maintain it yourself.
Hmm,
If you want a push button start and forget about the bike and don't touch it, I had a wee Honda Vision 50 scooter, uh, four stroke, and it was indestructible. It was like an appliance, really.
hmm.
But yeah, as long as you've got a bit of knowledge and don't mind a little bit of maintenance, then the Lex Moto's okay. I had it soaked in ACF 50, so I never had any rust on it. Kept it
Yeah.
garaged, and it was immaculate when I sold it as well.
Well, if you watch my blogs, you know how much I bang on about ACF 50, and it's such a good
Mm,
product. But there are hundreds of different sort of products on the market, like rust blocker, even a
mm,
decent coat of old engine oil just over your nuts and bolts, just to keep the rust at
mm.
bay. If you can't afford ACF, then bang that on, and it
Yeah.
works wonders. Quick, quick one from Alison. I'm just going to put this up. So, where are we? Oh, where we go? There we are. First accident was on a Yamaha DT50 at 15, and a heavy bruises from mum, or she would have killed me. And obviously, Alison's got herself a little Lexmoto Iska now. Mr. Carl Dutz is in the room. Come and join us, Carl. Come and jump on. First, I used to love the Honda XL 250s. Absolutely beautiful bikes they were. And obviously, I had a BSA Bantam, and people going, "What was a Bantam? Was it named after a chicken?" No, slightly different. Gearbox was on the opposite side. It was a right-hand gear change instead of a left-hand gear change, so your feet work the opposite way round. And then you obviously switch to a Honda, you got to change gear, and you were stamping on the back brake all the time. But great bikes. Yeah, but I love two strokes. I love all bikes, and obviously Gareth took the mick out of me. Bernie Gas Hauling House took the mick out of me ages ago, because I've had 40 years of sports bikes. I've never ridden obviously anything different until we obviously started doing a lot of used bikes in the garage. And obviously, if you've watched the videos, you've seen the Harleys and the Cruisers and the Michigans we've taken out. And obviously, I got so into cruiser riding now with the back issues. Hence why I've got the big thing behind me now, the GTR. Um, but my whole attitude to bikes has totally changed. And would I recommend a cruiser bike? Hell yes. Best bikes to get. Probably get yourself an upright bike. If you want to have back issues for the rest of your life, buy a sports bike. But all in all, get a cruiser every time.
Yeah. Is that you moving away from the sports bikes then? You're getting rid of your Kawasaki?
The Kawasaki is up for sale, unfortunately. If you've
Hmm.
seen the video of me getting thumped from behind, and I've got C1 and C2 compression of the spine at the moment, so I've got 8
No.
months of physio. We took a run, I think it was just before we done the one a couple of weeks ago, where I actually took the Kawasaki on its final ride to Super Sausage, and I managed to get halfway down the dual carriageway. And I think if you watch the last 40 minutes or so, or 14 minutes or so of that ride, every now and then you can hear me going, oh, ow, oh, because every bump was painful. I'm normally hammering around on that thing at 70 to 80 mile an hour down the dual carriageway, so keeping it legal 70 mile an hour down the dual carriageway. But I actually rode home at 60 mile an hour that day because I just couldn't put up with all the bumps and that. And obviously, Simon, who's in the room, Simon GTR 1400, said to me, you know, I said, oh, I was going to get this ZZR, and he said to me, you're not going to go far wrong. If you want something a little bit more upright, buy the GTR. Which is what I did, and obviously I've been out on it 3 times now, and I absolutely love it. It's upright, it's comfortable, it's got the big bar risers on it. Job done. I'm settled on that for life now.
Yeah, that's good. Glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah. So, oh, Howie's in the room. So, evening, Howie. Absolutely good to see you. There are loads of spaces available, guys. So, if someone wants to come in and join us, guys, in the room, you know, don't just let us two keep chatting away. Someone come in and shut me up for a change. But the links are up. Come and jump in the room, and you know, let's hear about what you guys done. Obviously, if you haven't seen, I'm going to mention a couple of people in the room. So. The Carl Dutz ride outs. If you haven't seen Carl's stuff, he puts loads and loads of bike videos up, but it's all to sort of background music. So he does some really good rides. Obviously, Simon GTR. It's just literally Simon on his GTR. He goes out and does rides. Obviously, he's back after being pinged for 6 days, so he had to obviously self-isolate after getting pinged, but he's back out on his bike again. Alison, obviously, and Hayden, they're normally sort of they come in the channel and join us every now and then. And if the big man from Scotland, Mr. Burning Gas Hauling Gas, he said he might try it in a minute and come and get back on the stream. So it'd be good to have a couple of you boys in there. Oh God, right. So yeah, are you sure it's not the other way round, Hayden? So Hayden's like, I'll join you on video. Alison's in her PJs. We will get the pair of them on video Sunday when we get down to Super Sausage. And if you watch the last one, you'll see them there. Obviously, Hayden rides Diversion XJ6. Alison's got her little whisker, and the man himself is coming on stream. So, evening, Howie. Good to see you.
Hello.
Obviously, tell us all about yourself.
Me? Oh, yeah, what can I say?
Have you got your YouTube open?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, give it a mute.
Me? Oh, yeah, what can I say?
Have you got your YouTube open?
Yeah, I'm trying to mute it. Hang on.
Yeah. There we go. That's better. Oh, you've muted your mic at the moment, Howie. So what you need to do is mute your YouTube and unmute your mic in the StreamYard. You'll soon see when it comes back on. You'll figure it out in a minute.
Yeah, we get that.
Where's he gone? I'll tell you what, let me do it for him there. Have you done it, Howie? No, his mic's still muted.
Right.
Yeah.
There that's better.
Ah, right. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let me do it for you. Oh, no, you've still got your YouTube open. His mic's still muted.
Hang on.
Yeah.
There that's better.
Right. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let me do it for you. Oh, no,
I've still got that. Hang on.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let me do it for you. Oh, no,
I've still got that. I can have it. Hold on.
Oh, he's disappeared again. Yeah, so if you are coming on the stream, guys, the technology is lovely. Yeah, what you need to do is obviously jump on the StreamYard link. If you've got YouTube open in your browser, go into your YouTube and just mute your speakers or mute your audio in the YouTube. because otherwise we get a load of echo. Evening, Del. Good to see you, buddy. The man himself, and obviously I was chatting about this guy earlier, Mr. Simon Maxwell, Mr. Simon GTR, and this is the guy over here that actually got me into riding a GTR 1400, and happened to pop in this afternoon while I was running around like a headless chicken at the garage. So evening, Simon.
Evening. Hopefully you can hear me. My audio's working.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And just to bring in one more, the man himself. So, oh God, we're us Brits, so it's like it's 2 on 2 at the moment. So another Scot in the room, and it's Mr. Burning Gas hauling ass. Welcome.
How we doing, guys?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you all as well. Nice to
loving
meet
that
new
new
faces.
intro. Yeah, loving that new intro on your channel. It's really good.
Thank you. Yeah, we tried to do a transition, so it was just a matter of trying to get the right angles with the camera. So it worked out quite well. So
yeah, looks good. Looks good.
yeah,
So
thank you, man.
let's introduce these two guys here. I'm going to start with you, Simon. So tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your bike and what you do.
Well, I've just realised I'm still in uniform, so I work for Royal Mail. I'm a postie. Live in the Milton Keynes area, and I work in Hemel, so it's a 30-mile commute every day. Got a GTR 1400, which I commute on. Use it all year round. I do about 20,000 miles a year on it, so I
Awesome.
do get out in all weathers. And I was getting bored on my ride, so I decided, I'll get a drift camera just to record any incidents that may happen, because as they do, what do you call them, Red Bomb? Oh, cornflake packet license holders.
Yeah, cornflake packet license holders.
I tend to meet a lot of them and people on their phones and things like that. And then one day I decided to buy the mic and connect it and just start talking rubbish while I'm riding.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I do now. So,
Brilliant.
have been around Germany and Switzerland and that on the GTR when I got it. The first year I got it, obviously didn't go anywhere last year because of COVID. Took the wife with us and 12 bikes, and we had a great time. Yeah, it's that's it. GTR 1400,
Cool.
best bike ever. I think, my opinion.
Over to you, Gareth. Floor is yours.
Well, as I say, everybody knows my name now is Gareth. My YouTube is Burning Gas Hauling Ass. So my wife and I, we both ride Harley Davidsons. It's a bit of a passion of ours. We're not solely we have Harleys just now. We've had Harleys in the past, other bikes in the past, but this is where we're at just now with the phase of our life. I've got my Street Glide as a Stage 5. I've taken it right the way up to the Screaming Eagle Stage 5 race engine that's in it. I use it day to day when I'm home. My wife, she rides a Softail Slim, and the two of us, as if you ever watch the channel or look at us on any social media, we're just really going around Scotland and riding our bikes, basically. We got into motovlogging during the pandemic, just like most people did. It was a case of that I couldn't go to any bike shows, couldn't go to any events, nothing. So I thought, well, I want to video and start engaging with people, and that's how I met Mr. Rev up the corner there, and I met Zedhead, which Nigel Rory mentioned earlier on as well. So, as I say, it's a big way to meet new people in the community, and we're all doing the same thing. So
All
good.
enjoying what we do, exactly. Yeah. So,
Yeah, so-
obviously, with Gareth, are you still doing your UK tour, or is it on hold at the moment?
It's on hold because I'm getting stuck out for longer periods now with the pandemic, with the flights. So one of my YouTube videos that I put up a couple of weeks ago, I went down to visit a couple of the dealerships to have a discussion with them about what was going on with the charity tour, and they just said to me and to Sarah at the same time, we went, well, your work comes first, you know what I mean? It's end of the day, that's what's paying for your livelihood, and the roads will still be there when you finish.
True,
So
true.
we'll get around to it. It's as I said, it's everybody's really keen to get involved, and it might be good actually to start it fresh in the spring, summer next year. We'll see how we go on. I should be home in the next 6 weeks. And if I'm home in the next 6 weeks, then we could probably get on to it. If not, we'll schedule it for next year. So.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And another quick question, obviously being the Harley man,
Yeah.
the new Harley Sportster S, what do you think of it?
Right, so I'm going to give you the positive, and then I'm going to give you the negative, all right? Or do you want the negative first? Which one do you want?
Well, I actually, you knew I was never a lover of cruisers anyway, but obviously
Right.
I've been tempted to the dark side.
Yeah.
The Sportster's nice, but what are they going to do about that exhaust?
They're really good sports bike. You know, the Sportster S to me is a great little sports bike, but I think it's very, very expensive for what you're getting. It's £14,000 for a very small compact package. I do think that it's a very, as I say, small bike for somebody like me who is like, I'm 5'10", and I won't convert my weight into pounds because it's rather embarrassing. But I'm 16 stone, and I would look rather silly sitting on this little bike. It'd just be like a big gorilla sitting on this little football. So I'd say it's rather small framed for somebody like myself. But in all, the engineering that's put into this bike is phenomenal. It's you've got a liquid cooled Revolution engine that can handle almost as well as a sports bike with a cruiser attitude. So I'm not going to give too much away until I actually physically see the bike. But I think going forward, it's definitely a good way for Harley. My only thing would say is that it's pricing a lot of the new guys out the market. Now, when I was younger and I was getting into Harley Davidsons, like £5,000-6,000, back in my early 20s was still a lot of money. It is a lot of money. And, if I ask somebody who wants to get a Sportster to start off in the range of Sportsters to pay 14 grand is a lot of cash. That's a lot of money. So, I don't know, the second-hand bike market, you can get some cracking bikes for less than half that money. So we shall see. Time shall see. So
yeah, time shall tell. We've just had another one just jump in as well. So down the bottom, he's back again for a second night running. Not looking so much of an old granny tonight. It's Mr. Coldnuts.
Feel like it. I'm absolutely goosed.
He always looks fed up.
I am.
Mind you, someone did comment that Jim's looking more like Moby every day.
That was me.
Where is Jim tonight?
I don't know, but I did watch his Finally Friday, so he had a little bit of the ape in it tonight. But he is loving that new Kawasaki. So I think the Kawasaki boys are going to start outnumbering everybody else after a while.
I think so.
Team Kawasaki.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I will say one of those GTRs overtook me about 2 summers ago, like I was standing still.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Honestly, I was. Obviously, I'll stick about 70, 75, whatever on the motorway, and I'm sitting cruising along, and I swear one of those GTR. I knew it was a GTR because of the panniers, and I just went, "Oh well." It was. He
was late for dinner. It's not his fault.
Yeah, I think so. It was late for tea. Okay, so.
Well, I've just done a run up to Scotland, and what I did was I took the coast road up to Scotland, and I made one big mistake, one very, very big mistake, and is it Reveal or Relieve or something? The app that tracks your route.
Right.
I can't. What name is it? I can't remember the exact name. Anyway, I put the app on, and I tracked my route. And of course, it makes a little video for you at the end, doesn't it? And you download the video to keep the video. I thought I had used it once before, but I forgot all about. It puts up the highest point you go during the course of the video, you get the highest point you've been on, and you get your average speed and you get your maximum speed, doesn't it? So I'm saying to the wife, hey, have a look at the video I've done of me trip today, thinking to myself, you know, I forgot the speed, my maximum speed was on it, so she's still in the mood with me. Forgot all about it.
Similar. I got caught out something similar. Your sat nav does exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I've just edited it today. Edited it today. And yes. I've put it on, and I've had to put a subscribe thing over the speed when the speed comes up. So.
That's the best bit about having an editor. Motion blur.
I'm just going to say that the people going past like this will give it away.
I must say, well done, Simon. I was in Royal Mail for just over 20 years. Come out the forces into Royal Mail. I was in Royal Mail for 20 years. I know exactly what kind of job you have. I know how hard it is. Everybody that says, "Oh, postman, I'd love to do that job."
Well, I'm going to shatter all your dreams. I'm going to shatter all your I'm going to shatter all your hailings of me now because I'm a union rep. Now you know exactly what I do.
Well. I'll take that back.
I think we've finally got Howie in with his decent audio now.
Yeah, running perfectly now. Hopefully.
Brilliant. So
this is the first time I've actually been on one of these chat things. So
just be yourself, be natural.
Yeah, well, I'll try, but you know, I'm basically a Zoom virgin.
It's a Zoom version. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what you ride.
I run the channel Howie 702 Motor Vlogs. I ride a BMW S1000 XR, which I've had for the last 18 months or so. Before that I was a Triumph fanboy, so I had Tigers and Bonnevilles and Street Triples and stuff like that. But I've gone over to BMW, and I make 1 or 2 vlogs a month, and that's about it. But yeah, just that's it. If you see my channel, you know what I do. I'm getting into the 360 camera stuff. And just want to take it from there, sort of thing. I play guitar as well.
I've just noticed the Fender over the shoulder.
I'll sit in and chat if I'll chip in when.
Brilliant. Yeah. So obviously, I was going to say, Carl, you're known for liking the BMW S1000s, aren't you?
Yes, I've got a BMW S1000 now. Yeah.
Very, very fast bike.
Fantastic bike. It's the modes on it that come into their own, really. Because if you have it in the first two, for instance, when you're vlogging, you can just put it into ride, just put it into road mode, and it just does everything for you. You can just concentrate on thinking of crap to say whilst you're riding around, you know. You don't have to be as boring as normal because you don't have to concentrate. You literally do not have to concentrate that hard on riding your bike. Then, of course, when you put it in the top 2 modes, she wants to kill you. Really, she wants to hurt you if she's in the other top. If she's in the top 2 modes, I can't for the life of us. Is it Pro? It's can't for the life. Yeah. Dynamic and Dynamic Pro, and if you put them in them two, if you put her in them two, she does. Yeah, she wants to hurt you. You've virtually got to use the back brake when you're pulling away from traffic lights, because if you don't, she's up and off her. So wow. How he's laughing, he knows what I mean.
That's exactly what I had with the GTR, because I've been obviously I'm used to hacking around on this ZX7. And the first time I took it out, I thought, there is a lot of weight there. I thought it was about, because obviously the standard ZZR is around about 260, 270 kilos. And I thought, when I first got it, I thought, Jesus Christ, it's heavy. But when you've got it moving, there's no weight there at all. And then obviously chatting with Simon, he said, no, you're looking about 300, 320 kilos for one of those.
Yeah.
But the first time I've took it out, I was 65 all the way. And then for the last couple of weeks, I've been poddling around about 65, 70. And then Simon said to me, he said, have you got up to 4,000 RPM? I said, no. I said, I've managed to get, I tend to get through the box very, very quick and get the revs on in top gear. It took me a week to figure out, because I said, it's got 6 speeds, but I can only get 5 out of it. And he said, no, the top gear is OD. It's not 6 gear, it's overdrive. And I'm like, that's what the OD on the screen is. But then obviously you said to me, get it over 4,000 RPM and see what happens. I did last Sunday, or the Sunday before, coming back from Super Sausage. And as soon as it hit 4250, Jesus, hang on. It literally, it's like Captain Picard going, engage. And everything just becomes a blur, and it was like, okay,
variable valve timing, and it just opens all the taps at about 4250, 45 thereabouts, and all the gerbils start running all at once, and it goes.
It does go.
But you just know that's what they're built for, though, don't you? It just comes into it once it gets up into the top end. It's you can tell that they're just built for that. That's what they're there for. I mean, my bike hates going slow. It hates going slower. The engine sounds better when you're giving it full throttle. The engine temperature, the more you hammer it, the cooler the engine gets, and it's outstanding, really, at top end. So
the GTR,
4.5, doesn't it?
Yeah.
From about 4.5, and it comes alive. It just
Just
the GTR
another bike,
being,
another bike.
The GTR being shaft drive, and that it seems like it's lowered the center of gravity a lot. And what you're saying about going around town and that, the fan cuts in and out, but she'll quite happily poodle around at 30 mile an hour all day long, and it's just poodling along. The engine's barely purring. She's quite a happy bike. It seems like they've got it right. I mean, you've got a Gen 2 version, I think it is. Red Bomb. I've got the Gen 3 version, so they did a lot of changes electronically with it, and it just purrs along. But then all of a sudden, when you want to open it up, the sports bike, see you coming and see you going, she just takes off. It's good fun. It's a
obviously the only downside is these things just here. Them air vents, because once that engine gets hot and that fan cuts in, your legs get excessively hot because it blows all the hot air. But great in the winter, great heat is, but in the summer you absolutely cook, and we did cook a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely cooked on it.
These people with liquid cooled engines.
Now I've got to say this about the air cooled engines. I was in America a couple of years ago, and I had an Electroglide. And the guy at the shop said, you've got the one with this latest engine. It's got this specific cooling technique. I said, what's that? He said, it opens up a valve or something on the second cylinder to blow out the hot air to keep it cooler. I'm like, that's great. He didn't tell me that the hot air blew out right under your seat. I was in Florida, and it was like 35 degrees on my back and 150 between my legs. It wasn't fun. But I do like to go over.
The hotter it gets, the faster I need to go. It's like I need to keep going. I mean, when it comes to riding the bike, it's like if I don't need to stop, I won't stop in the summertime, especially. So, and now that it runs hotter now with the Stage 5, I've got to keep moving. It will literally shake itself along the road. And like my wife will pull up alongside me, and she'll just look at the engine and she'll just go, "Is it okay?" Because it sounds like somebody's trying to hammer their way out. It's somebody's banging on the cylinder. And I says, it's meant to do that.
It's designed to sound like two spanners hammering together.
It's meant to make that noise. That's just a new noise. It's okay. You know what I mean? The pistons are about the same size as my head now, but it's as I say, the air cooled in the summertime, especially when I was home just there. We had a few hot days in Scotland, and I had to like we got stuck in traffic. I had to filter. I had to keep moving, or I was literally going to burn. So I was going to burn. You know.
Quick one, obviously just
Yeah.
popped up in the side chat. Green by Nature, welcome to the stream. As a Grandad license holder, really interested in the Lexmoto Cypher. Obviously, if you've seen a lot of my Cypher videos, me poddling around on that little electric bike, and we had another one that disappeared out the door today. Customer come pick it up. He's got the black and red one. So new paint schemes just come out on it. Great little local run around. Yeah, it's 30 mile an hour. And obviously that comes up on you can use that on your Grandad's right. So you're obviously allowed to ride 50cc equivalent. But there, obviously I did a video a couple of weeks, I think it's about 2-3 weeks ago, how to unrestrict the Cypher and get 50 mile an hour out of it. And everybody's been using my video. Another local bike shop has obviously copied my video off the back of mine and called me Rev Bob, and it's not, it's Rev Bomb. But my name's Bob for the next 2 weeks.
Hello, Bob.
Yeah, but you know, if you want to use my stuff, then fine, but get my name right at least.
Yeah.
But very, very easy to unrestrict the Cypher, and it's a case of twist the throttle, hold the front brake, and turn the ignition on, and wait 5 seconds. Once the little light goes off, let go of the throttle, let go of the front brake. You've got 50 mile an hour unrestricted. But if you are 16 and you are caught doing 50 mile an hour, you are riding not in accordance with your license, because you are only meant to be doing 30 mile an hour.
Wow. Right.
One of the young riders actually got caught by the local Bobby, 50 mile an hour down a hill. Copper pulled him over and said to him, he said, you do realise you were doing 50 down the hill? He said, yeah. He said, but the bike's got no engine braking, it's electric, and it was just going with the slope of the hill. Okay. And he went, right, what I want you to do is ride down the road, hold the bike full open, full throttle. I want to know what the bike does. So while he's chatting away, he's holding the front brake, twists the throttle and turns the ignition on, chatting to the copper. Off he goes, 30 mile an hour. Copper's behind him, pulls him over again and said, oh, yeah. He said, told you it was doing 30. And he went, yeah. He said, do you want to keep it in restricted mode now?
Thing is about that, though. Thing is about that, though. Is there an actual 16-year-old out there that would not go and buy one of them bikes and get it in unrestricted mode about 50 yards out of the garage?
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
You wouldn't. You'd buy it. You'd get on it. You'd drive it away from garage. As soon as you were out of sight, you'd be like, right, how do I get this in unrestricted? And off you go.
Yeah, when we were 16, we were boring the things out, making them up to around about 60 cc's and all sorts of stuff. I mean, everybody was going for an AP50 because it was fastest. Bizes were pretty quick. If you had an SS50, you were the last one to get to the pub. So,
Yeah.
I had an SS50, of course. LE 50 mates and the fizzy mates were all getting there. They were doing 55 mile an hour, 60 some of them.
Well, I was probably the last one there, because if you went up a hill on my Pooch Maxi, you had to pedal a stick.
You had no gears, did you?
No. And it actually had a decompression lever on the left handlebar. So you used to pedal it, decompress it, and drop the decompressor to start the bike.
Wow.
We put them up on the centre stand, got the back wheel spinning, and then you rock backwards so you could get a wheel out of the thing. Yeah.
It was a great bike, but it would do 28 flat out, and if you hung over the handlebars in the middle, you'd get 30.
You know something? This is the very moment I'm so happy I am the youngest in the room.
Only just.
Only just. Oh dear! Like my first bike was electric. Everything's been electric start since I got into motorbikes. You know, in the 90s. So I haven't been through any of that at all.
You don't know the kickback of a fizzy then.
Take you back masters.
But talking about heat off of ordinary aspirated engines, is there any heat comes off? I've not ridden one yet. Any of the electric bikes? Does there any heat come off of those at all?
No, they because they're obviously some of them are lithium ion. A lot of the new ones now are lithium polymer.
Right.
Yeah.
But people are obviously, oh, electric's going to be the future. Yeah, electric is going to be the future, but you've got to consider the fact that how much it costs to mine lithium to make lithium batteries.
Yeah.
Obviously, when a lithium battery does its duty, you're only getting a certain percentage back off the recycling. You're not going to ever get 100% back off the lithium battery.
No.
And what happens when everybody goes electric? How are we going to get enough electric or charging points to charge these cars and bikes up?
It's gonna drain the national grid, innit? I mean,
It will, yeah. And obviously, they were talking about it in the room yesterday. The new, obviously, hydrogen cells or fueling your standard petrol engines on hydrogen.
Yeah.
Is that going to be an extra option?
Just to give you the head, I can't go into too much detail, obviously, but there's a big demand now for hydrogen in the UK. They're building a hydrogen plant in Middlesbrough up in Teesside, and they're looking to build a new hydrogen plant up in Scotland. So the demand for hydrogen is actually starting to increase. So they know that this is the way forward for the future. It takes them to construct and then commission and then produce. We're looking at 5 to 6 years. So I think within the next, say, decade, you will find more hydrogen-based vehicles on the road. That's just my perspective of it. So.
It's very similar to what, because obviously in the 50s and 60s you had your straight sort of petrols and diesels.
Yeah.
And then obviously LPG come along and everyone went, oh, LPG won't catch on. But it did. A lot of the farm vehicles had LPG.
That's right.
And then obviously everybody's gone biodiesel now. We've actually got a farmer that lives, I'd say within about, well, Simon knows where he is. He's out at Stukely.
Yeah.
And one of our local farmers, he actually gets his, he's got, I think, about 200 acres of corn. He uses, I think it's rape oil or something.
Yeah,
and he actually makes his own biofuel and sells it. And he was selling it to, you could go in and buy 2 or 3 gallons of his biodiesel until obviously the government cottoned on what he was doing and shut him down.
Wow. Yeah.
But they said, you can't sell it, but you can have it for your own use. And he went, right, fine, fair enough. So he does about 500 gallons of diesel a year, and that keeps him going all year.
Remember years ago, there was a big thing about people going to the fish and chip shops and trying to get all the used oil.
Yeah.
Remember? And then you got into somebody's car who was a diesel and they were using used cooking oil.
It used to stink.
Diesel.
It used to stink as well.
It stunk, yeah. Get down the road, you can smell chips.
It's like, I'm hungry now.
I could eat a fish and chips tonight. Fancy a fish and chips tonight, yeah.
A quick couple of obviously Green by Nature. It's like had an RD50 in the 1980s. Everybody, it was like the RD50s, the RD125s, and then obviously Yamaha had the RD50s. Quite a lot of the RD50s go up to Super Sausage. One of the guys up there has got the LC version. They're worth a lot of money at the moment.
Yeah.
But obviously the RD50s, the SS50s. I think there's an RD50 the other day. It went for about 16 grand on eBay.
Wow. Yeah.
But bikes at the moment are a lot of money.
You couldn't wait to get off your 50cc and get onto a 250. You used to leave them at the side of the road.
Yeah.
I went straight to a 250. I went straight to XL 250, Honda XL 250, and I come off it. Sorry, no, I didn't come off it. I nearly come off it sort of about 30 seconds out of the garage. Straight up a hill, took a corner way too fast, hit the curb, managed to keep on it. How I managed to keep on it, I don't know. But straight on them days, you could go straight onto a 250 motorbike, on L plates, straight 250.
Yeah, see, I did my test. We actually had one in today for an MOT, and I said to the guy, "Can I sit on your bike?" And he went, "Why is that?" I said, "Because I haven't sat on a Honda Super Dream since I was 17."
Wow.
Yeah, and obviously passed my test, I think 3 weeks after my 17th birthday. and I'd religiously put £10 away since my 13th birthday because I wanted to buy a sports bike when I got to 17. And we walked into the local, it was Carnell's. Simon will know all about Carnell's. I walked into Carnell's, snot-nosed 17-year-old with a long blonde perm because it was the 80s, and sat on, yeah, imagine me with a blonde perm, can't you? But walked in and I sat on this ZX9, and the salesman come over and he went, "What do you think you're doing?" I want to buy this bike. You can't afford it. Get off the bike. That's for real people that want to buy real bikes. And I went, "I want this bike." And the manager come over. He said, "All right." He said, "What are you looking at?" I said, "I want this ZX9. No, it's not the bike for you, mate. It's back then it was £5,000. And I said to my dad, he said, "Do you like it?" I said, "Yeah, I want it." And the bloke went, "You can't afford that, son." He said, "Come back when you've got some real money." And my dad pulled out £5,000 and went, "That's his bike." And the manager actually turned round and he said, "Never ever assume that anybody can't afford a bike." He said, "It doesn't matter if you could walk into a showroom in a suit or in a pair of jeans and an old T-shirt. How do you know which one's got the money?" He said,
Exactly.
never ever assume. But then when I was chatting, because obviously we buy our parts from Jaguar Land Rover for our expensive cars. When I was chatting with the salesman, and he said, "Oh, you do bikes?" And yeah, he said, "I used to work at Carnell's." And I went, "Oh, I bought my first bike there." He said, "What did you buy?" I went, "ZX9. He went, "You weren't that little snot-nosed 17-year-old that come in, was it?" I went, "Yeah, that was me, actually." And he went, "Bleeding hell," he said, "I nearly lost my job over you."
Oh, jeez.
Brilliant.
Brilliant fun, though.
Yeah. Wow.
But what a bike! Obviously, I must have been the only 17-year-old in Milton Keynes tearing around on a ZX9.
Jesus.
Yeah, and still alive to tell the tale. You know, because a lot of youngsters, which is why they brought the CBT in, because so many kids were just going unlimited CC straight from a 250 and killing themselves at 17, just couldn't handle the power.
Yeah.
But obviously the CBT, I've got reservations against the CBT as well, because you go out 16, 17, you do a quick half a day in a classroom, they let you out to play with live traffic, and if you survive the day and you can ride, then there you go, there's your CBT license, go play with real cars. And I still think people should do at least 2 to 3 weeks training on a bike before they're let loose to play with traffic.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
Used to do loads of riding off road. I mean, I was quite fortunate. My father was a caretaker at a school back in Oxfordshire, and because I had at the weekends or after school hours, I had to run to the school, so I got myself on loads of old mopeds or bits we used to make up, and used to go in the back round the school on the field, just riding and get used to the bike even before I hit the road. So it was. But even us lads, we used to get them. We'd go off down the country lanes where there was no traffic and mess around down there.
Yeah.
Fields and that. You know, you kind of like learned to ride off the road before you got onto it.
So I think back in the 70s, yeah, most of us did that in the 70s. We all sort of around the local fields. But if you do it now, you get the old coppers. You get the old coppers round with the helicopters. What are you doing? You know, is the bike nicked? No, it's mine. Right. Well, where's your sassing? And they just want to, you know, there is nowhere for youngsters to, you know, gone are all the fields where you used to pot around on an old bike.
Well, my wife, my wife, when she passed her test, I think it was 9 years ago, she did it the new way, you know, like the mod 1, mod 2 kind of route. And she did her she had a CBT, and we never got her a 125. I just said I didn't see the point because she wanted a big bike, which is fine. But what she did is she did her lessons during the winter time, and when she passed her test, it was snowing. And see now, she's very, very capable on the road because she learned in those rough conditions up in Scotland, you know, during the snow. So now you can tell that's ingrained in her head, all about braking distances and how to do. So there is different people learn different ways, don't they? You know, and I think, as I say, there's a big thing about the mod 1 to the mod 2 to the way that I done it. I did it you start on Saturday and you had your license by the Thursday. That was the old day. That was the way that I done it. So,
Exactly. It's like Alan just said this, I couldn't believe with an hour or two of doing a CBT, I was out in the middle of Milton Keynes traffic on doing, playing with traffic. And if you haven't been to Milton Keynes, we call it Roundabout City. Every quarter of a mile there is a roundabout, and it's just designed to get you from A to B across the city as quick as you can. But
yeah,
the amount of people that don't know how to use the roundabouts in Milton Keynes, you tend to find they'll obviously 2-lane roundabout, and the car driver will go straight across the middle of the roundabout lane. Well, go and watch a few of Simon's videos, car drivers cutting him up, cutting the roundabouts. But
yeah.
yeah, it's chaos in Milton Keynes, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, so I'm used to it though, because when I was 16, this is embarrassing now. When I was 16, I had a Vespa PK50. I had a 110 Molossi kit in it, but we didn't tell the police officer that. And I used to go down London, and I went to London, Brighton, Isle of Wight, Skegness. I went everywhere on it. And the group of us, we all went out together. It was a local club. Well, it wasn't even a club. It was just a group of friends from Bletchley itself. We used to ride it. And we used to have our own little spills, but all of us basically taught ourselves to ride, because you went down, you got your license from the post office, and then you walked into a bike shop, you got a bike, threw a couple of bell plates on it if you wanted to, and then off you tore into sunset. But it was terrifying. Yeah, I've been riding so long now that I get very defensive when riding. I expect car drivers to do that, which is why it doesn't end up with lots of palaver and drama when it does happen.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And I did one of my videos.
I always say when you watch.
Go on, sorry.
No, go. Sorry.
I was saying I did one of my videos where it says that don't get mad, be nice, and you'll find that if somebody pulls out on you or somebody does something, it's usually a mistake, and we all make them. And if you react overly to it and start waving your arms, banging on wing mirrors and banging on roofs and things like that, you're going to upset the driver, and then it's not going to be good for the next biker they come across. But if you go, all right, and they put their hand up, if they put their hand up, that's always sorry, that's fine, carry on. The next biker they come across, they might actually look out for him. So that's my philosophy on it.
Yeah, I've always said you can't control what's just happened, but you can control how you respond. I've always agreed that way. So,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I've had my days where I've been banging on roofs and banging on windows, and and such. I've had those days, and then one day I just thought, what happens if I do this to the wrong driver and he decides, right, and you're laying in the road, but you're in the right, but it doesn't matter because the hospital still hurts.
Yeah.
Every time you go.
One of the things I have noticed now, up until I only started doing motovlogging, so to speak, round about, I think it was September, October last year. And I never had any cameras attached to my helmet or anything before. And then when we started doing it, like more in the spring this year, the way that car drivers respond to seeing a camera now is unreal.
Yeah. They
back off, especially when you've got maybe like a GoPro. Like most guys have got their GoPros here on their chin, or like I've got a Sena, the camera. I've got the Sena digital, the camera one on the side of my helmet. And the minute you turn around and they see the camera, they just hide behind the steering wheel as if to say, please don't put this up on YouTube, everything. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
I got
when I take my wife on the back, she suffers with pillion rage. We did have a little incident with a Range Rover, and I went to pull up next to him, but he stopped quick, and I went past. So she was right next to him, so she stood on the foot pegs and leant him through his window and gave him a dressing down. And I heard it all on the intercom. It was absolutely brilliant. But he also didn't realise we was with 12 other bikes. And this Range Rover went, oh dear, shut his window and let us all go.
You were saying, Carl?
I was going to say I got panned once before in the comments section on a live stream once for saying this. But do you find if you watch them channels where they do have the accidents and this, that, and the other, a lot of the incidents, not the accidents obviously, but a lot of the incidents, do you find the bikers are as much to blame as the car drivers?
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
they're not. They are actually actively going out for it. I mean, I could say that by saying if I wanted to get some footage that I would send off to one of them to one of them videos, all I need to do, Milton Keynes is the perfect spot. All you need to do is go out and blast across a couple of roundabouts. And you're gonna, sooner or later, within probably 10 minutes, you're gonna get something worthy of sending to them to them channels, you know. And it's like what you were saying before, Simon. If you're a good driver, if you don't have that happen to you, because every time I come to a roundabout, I'm looking for anybody coming out of a junction, because the fact of the matter is I'm probably doing it faster on my bike than what I would do it in my car anyway. So I'm immediately, the two things I'm looking for above anything else is if on that roundabout, whilst I'm on that roundabout, is a car crossing the lane, because you can always avoid it, whether that car crosses or not. You can just about always avoid it if you know it's coming, if you look for it coming, and also a car coming onto that roundabout in front, pulling out in front of me, and half the time it can be avoided. I think
it's anticipating, isn't it?
It gives
what's happening in front of you and reacting to it. I look at those videos and I think, well, at this point, I would have moved over, or I'd start putting the anchors on and avoid that situation. You can
see they're looking for it to happen, and it gives bikers, it gives good bikers a bad name with the car drivers. And these ones that chase women down, you know, these ones that chase women down. Fair enough, maybe they have done something, but I've seen them where they've gone all the way around the roundabout and followed women driving the cars on their own, stopped and had a right go at them and all this, that, and the other, and it just gives bikers a bad name.
I think
I agree with what Nitro just said. Sorry, I agree with what Nitro just said in the comments about assume every driver's going to pull out on you, because they are. Yeah. I assume every car driver's an assassin out to get to me, and watching all of it all the time. And if you're a good experience, you get to do it without thinking about it. Yeah. It's only with experience.
If you're a good experienced rider, that's 9 times out of 10 that is not going to happen to you.
You see, there are so many channels now. So you've got like your Moto Madness, your Moto Stars, your Dirt Bike Lunatics. There's hundreds of channels out there, all doing the same videos over. So one channel will start it, the next channel will go off and go, "Oh, we're from so and so company. Can we nick your video?" and that. But the one I tend to follow is obviously, for those that don't know it, and obviously watching on the stream, Dan the Fireman, DDFM crew. And if you're a DDFM member, and he teaches, we sit there and watch hundreds of these videos. That we just finished. I literally got off a stream about 6 o'clock this evening when I got in from the garage, and he was streaming. Some guy broke his leg and that. But he always saying, you know, this is a situation. Position 1, position 3. Never go behind a car or a lorry, because it could back into you. Or if a car's coming in too hot from behind, you're going to be the sandwich between them two vehicles. Point 1. Straight long road, and you're going to be watching. And he always says, side of a car. Watch for the side of a car. Has the car seen you? If the car starts moving, then it's time to start anchoring. He said, but never ever look at the driver. You need to be watching that front wheel. If the front wheel starts moving, then you need to be on the anchors.
I agree with that.
Kind of started to give up on those crash videos or the sensationalist videos. I've started watching. I don't know if you watching the guys that are doing all the sort of like green laning, and they're having little arguments. I find that more entertaining. An argument with like a landowner, or ramblers. I find this more entertaining than like somebody going along and smashing someone's wing mirror and stuff like that.
Right, guys, I'm going to have to jump in and say I'm going to have to come off this just now.
Yeah, that's all right. We're gonna start winding up before in a little while anyway. But final one is obviously there's a very, very good one, and I can't remember his name for the life of me. But he tends to ride round London, and he's very, very comical and satire about what he does. But I'll try and find his channel name.
You're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, he's very, very satirical. But he did one the other.
Did you mention him yesterday?
I did, yeah.
It's not beans on toast, is it? Has
Beans
anybody
on
watched
toast.
this channel?
That's it. Yeah, beans on toast.
Absolutely brilliant.
Right, I'm going to
Absolutely
let you
brilliant.
guys
eh?
finish up this, but I need to go. All right. So,
Thanks very much for popping in.
So,
And
please
obviously,
keep your
everybody, the guy
Yeah.
over this side, check him out, Mr. Burning Gas Hauling House. And obviously, check out his wife, Mrs. Burning Gas Hauling House, pair of Harley owners, up from Scotland. Bloody good channel. Get in there and give him a couple of likes, give him a follow, and hit his notifications bell for him a few times.
Yeah. Thanks very much, guys. Take it
Take
easy.
care, Gareth. Have a great
Thank
weekend.
Take
See
care,
ya.
guys. See you, mate.
Right, bye.
So yeah, if you haven't seen Beans' last one, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's very, very satirical, but what he does,
Yeah.
but it's all very, very tongue in cheek. And what is it? Duck lips, he normally says, as women are posing for photos.
Yeah.
Duck lips.
It's not the-
duck
Yeah.
lips.
He's not the most politically correct person going, is he?
No. But right, Alison's are just about to disappear off as well. So see you later, Alison. We shall, obviously,
Alison.
I'm popping over to Simon's on Sunday, and the pair of us going up to Super Sausage. So we shall see you and Hayden up at the Sausage on Sunday, probably around about 9:30. So all good, right, guys? Obviously, time to sign off. So we'll just do the outro. So Simon, plans for the weekend?
Meeting you on Sunday up to the Super Sausage. Going to take my two boys out on their little 125s. One's got a Honda CBF 125, and the other one's got a don't punish him, a Vespa GTS 125.
Brilliant.
So it's actually, they've had their CBTs 2 years now, and they're both doing their renewals, and it's going to be the first time we've ever been out together with the three of them. So it's going to be fun, and obviously having Red Bomb there as well. And
Brilliant.
I've got my new 360 camera, so I shall probably try and get a bit of video on that as well.
Ditto. So
It completely
two go.
failed on my way to you. It completely failed when on my way to you. It didn't record anything at all for the whole of the journey from Hemel.
What camera
but I did get a bit. It's the Insta R Twin.
All right.
Insta 360 R Twin. It's a new one. So I'm trying that. I've got the Drift XL I usually wear on my crash helmet as well. But I did get some footage afterwards, and it's entertaining to edit. I've got to learn a new editing thing, a suite to edit it, and then you save that, and then you can add that to your normal videos and that. So yeah, I should do a bit of that. But the picture quality is really very, very good.
You'll love it.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
Brilliant.
More time
Plans for
sat
the
in front of the
weekend,
computer
Carl?
ignoring the wife.
Plans for the weekend, Carl?
No plans. Just going to chill out. Back in work Sunday night, so I'm just going to chill out until then. And could I just say, Paul M, if you're still on, thanks for your comments, mate. I really appreciate them. There's some good comments you've given me just lately, so thanks very much for that. There's a couple in the side. There's a few in the side chat as well. I'll try and find your channels and sub up to you when I get off tonight. Same with you, Simon, and you, Ali. I don't think I'm subbed up to you, so I'll do that as well. And other than that, listen, I've got to show you. I chucked a t-shirt on, but I'm actually in pyjamas.
I thought it was a skirt then.
So I'm off. I'm off. And they were my legs and not chicken legs. See you later.
See you later, Carl. Have a good one, mate.
See you,
Howie,
bye.
plans for the weekend?
Nothing really. Just going to stay in and stay dry. I live in Somerset, so it's
Oh, well, there you go. Brilliant. Thanks very much, guys, for obviously popping in tonight for the last hour or so. Much
problem. Thanks for having
appreciated.
us.
Yeah, that's all right. Not a problem. As always, guys, you know, if you're rewatching this back on a Saturday morning now, all the guys are down the bottom, all their names, pop onto their channels, give them a like, give them a subscribe. You know, we don't do this for the money, we do it for the love of the just having a bit of fun on our bikes, guys. But as you know, we should be out, obviously a few more videos to come up. So if you do obviously find their channels, go in, just spend 5 minutes just clicking through their videos, giving their videos a thumbs up. It does help their analytics. And obviously pushes their YouTube's counts up. So thanks very much, Simon. Thanks, Howie, for popping in. And whatever you're doing this weekend, have a good one, guys. Thanks very much. Take care.
Cheers,
See you,
guys.
Red Bomb.
All
See you
right,
soon.
okay,
Take care.
bye.
Rubber side down, everybody.